So I'm back. I've cleaned the buttstock while it was on the receiver best I could. Bluing gone wherever air or sun had hit it is gone. Where the handguard was in the stock, it's still got the paint, which I did forget to mention when I opened this up. I noticed it, but I didn't mention it. The handguard is gone, so I've placed an order, I found a cheap number 4 Mark 1 handguard rear piece on eBay, and I have bought one of those. Now I think the measurement of the number 5 is 8.9 inches. So you can tell, I bet I could measure that bluing gone area to the piece that keeps it in there, and that'd be 8.9. So I have to cut a little bit off of the number 4 Mark 1 handguard to make it work, but that'll be a cheaper fix for that. If you'll notice, it's just got the normal rusty looking with the bluing gone, but there is no pitting on the gun, the barrel, receiver, or nothing. This is all smooth. It's just got that rusty looking finish. I have polished some of this area with a Dremel, with one of those emery wheels. It will polish it up and not take the bluing off. The bolt, I got it all together and it seems to be functioning just fine. I don't know if you've ever had this problem, but I have to raise the sight to put the bolt in. There's a little too much metal there when it's laying down, but if you raise it up, it lets the bolt go in. Now it's showing a bunch of that brownish oil from all the oiling up I've done to it, but she'll wipe down and look nice. I noticed the sight had some proofs on it. Because on the other side, there's the M/47C. I cleaned this wood up. It cleaned up pretty good. But I glued that small sliver back in there and just taped it up good to keep it there because my vices weren't working with where that's at. So that's part of the cleanup. We've got a bunch of parts here and some, I think that's just straight gasoline. It cleans all the gunk and grime off. Those will get oiled up and put back on the gun here shortly. But yeah, everything's coming along better than I thought. It's going to look pretty good when it's done. I need to get in that handguard. Ordered that a day or so ago, so shouldn't be too long till I have that. Hopefully it'll match close to what this wood is. I never put a lot of stock into wood matching or not. It is what it is. When they made the weapons, they weren't concerned with it, so it looks more original if it doesn't match. But still haven't cleaned on the bore. Now it looks dirty, but I have sprayed some cleaner in it, and I'm letting it soak and lay, and I'll probably brush that out here and let you know what I find. I haven't put the safety on. I will get that installed. But all in all, I think it probably was worth what I spent. And as I always say, if you're looking for something that you don't have, when you find it, reasonable or as a project, a lot of people frown on them, but I like projects, so that allows me to get some guns cheaper than it would be if I went out and bought it like new. I don't prefer my surplus weapons to be in new condition. That's the appeal of them, is to show some of the wear and tear and such as that. So we'll come back with another clip here when I get it more together. So here she is, put together as good as she can be at this point. I need the handguard, which is on order. Hopefully will come soon. The safety I had an issue with. Now the safety works good, and then I have to be cocked back. But the safety works very well. It's just when I was putting this piece on, it wasn't bent right or something which wasn't doing right, and she finally snapped in two. So, got a working safety, just no good catch. So, I will be contacting Apex Gun Parts and seeing if they'll send me another one. I showed you in the previous video this was a rough piece along with the screw that you can still see some rust. Get this thing to focus today on the head there of it. But all in all, it cleaned up well. Still haven't scrubbed that board, so we'll have to report on that here in a later clip. But I'm pleased. I have paid $199 for, I think, either a number 1 Mark III or a number 4 Mark 1. I paid $199 for. But the bad thing here is I was out. What was I out on this bolt? $20 body and maybe, I think, $30 on the parts for the bolt head. I had the extractor and the cocking piece. Well, I had a couple of bucks for the screw. So, I was out a little bit more, but that's the name of the game when it comes to grabbing they call it the pig in the poke, or, something that you are not sure what you're gonna get. So definitely gotta have them send me another piece if they will. I didn't force anything or abuse it. It just wasn't its day, I guess. Like I said, that was a rough piece, so it may have already been started to crack or something. But so she's broke there. We need that piece for here. So that piece and the handguard, and then I'll have to get a hold of me, of course, a sling, which I don't know what specific sling went with these. I may try to get the olive drab style. I like the khaki one as well. But there we go. That's grade C Jungle Carbine. You can see the wood cleaned up pretty good. Now, I didn't take a lot of pains with it. It was just some warm water and Dawn and some multi-purpose cleaner, and just kept going over it a few times, and then paper towel dried it and got it good and dry, and put it back on. So my advice is, if you want a Jungle Carbine a cheaper way, you can see what I've done. I've got one a cheaper way, and it got me to thinking I may do a video here sometime on some carbines. Bring out the shorties. I got several in mind that I could place together and compare, and maybe talk about them here for a little while. But seems like one video inspires more or another. But that's it for now. We'll get that handguard in and put on, and maybe a sling by then, and definitely hopefully can get that piece there sent to me. But I appreciate everyone watching my videos. Continue to like and definitely subscribe. We'll be back. Hey guys, so just wanted to film showing my handguard that I got. This thing is in really good shape. Got it off of eBay. I think it was $10, and I'm not sure if I even paid shipping. But it's a really good piece. Almost too good to cut down, but it's got that metal underneath there and all. But I don't have anything else I need to put it on, so it's gonna get cut. You can see where the band goes. So I'll put this down here and mark it and cut a slot down into the wood there. And it comes a little bit past it, so not much to be cut, but we'll fix her up. On to the finishing out now, and I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. So here's the number 4 Mark 1 handguard I got in. I have put it on there and measured. Through research, I saw that it was 8.9 inches. You with it back in there, in the way recessed in there, way it should be, you can see the black paint where it cuts off, and kind of the edge there. Well, I'm very close to that. Instead of 8.9 inches, I measured 9, because a tenth of an inch isn't very much. So I went ahead and measured 9 inches and cut it, taped it off, and cut it with a Dremel cutoff tool. Now I will round the shoulder of that, but now I've marked out the band area and the exact width. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I want to get that pretty tight there. That band is going to have to hold this forestock up against this barrel pretty good, so don't need to cut too much. I guess you can always put a spacer, but you've only got, it's thicker than you think, but you don't want to go hog wild on it. So, I guess you can look at the depth of what's there on that. That might be a good thing to go by. So I'm going to take my time and, recess that out and hope that it works. So I'll show you the end result here soon. Okay, I'm back. This took some time. I don't know how long it took, but I was patient, and that's something I've gained with age. I was patient and took my time, and getting this wood recessed enough that this band will meet up in the end at the swivel here was tough. But I took my time, I kept digging, and started out with the Dremel, and then took a couple wood rasps, and I had a very fine grit file that I, of course, can't find now. That was the exact width of the band, and I just kept on and on running that until it bottomed out, because the problem was my band, the width down in there, it was not bottoming out to the very bottom of the handguard like it should. So this completes it, except I'm going to try to round that end right there. Now I need to look at some images and kind of figure out how that works. But I was fooling with this. I've got the trigger guard tightened into the action quite well and tight, and I was looking at how this wood bounces. I'm thinking it's kind of like a free float barrel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, with the barrel moving up and down out of that stock, I'm sure it's bottoming out back in here somewhere, but maybe that's just this rifle and not representative of all jungle carbines. But or maybe I haven't got this, perfect, and it's somehow not drawing it down like it should. But there it is at the swivel. I've got it drawn up pretty good. I may can turn it another turn or so, because this swivel's awful loose. But I'm very pleased with my woodworking skills there. I really need to get that rounded and finished, and that will take some time as well. But I kind of scuffed up and sanded, I guess, different things there. Took some of the old patina and finish off the band. Don't want to re-blue it, but I don't know. That's just part of working on things. It'll, I'm sure, dull with age or time here, but it's going good. I guess it's pretty much done, except rounding this front. So I'm very pleased. I do think that maybe that is beech and the other is walnut, but I don't know. I'll let you get a judge of that. I may run a little stain on top just to match it a little bit better, but I'm very pleased with this. This is good and tight. No overhang here. Had to sand some right in here, and I've wiped it off and cleaned it up. I'm wanting that little bit of a lip there to stay, and then I want some here, but I'm going to round this off down to the barrel, and that should fix that. But just wanted to show you more progress. That there took quite a while. I mean, if you're going to attempt it and you're not patient, then wait until you are patient or get someone else to do it for you. You don't want to break that piece of wood and have to buy another one. So just a word of advice there. But other than that, I'll show you the finished product when I get that rounded and cleaned up a little bit better. The stock needs to be shined up, and it's almost done. So until the next clip. So here she is, as finished up as I can get it. The handguard I'm very pleased with on how it's turned out. I've studied a lot of pictures of the originals, and they do not bend curve plumb to the barrel, so I tried to make it look like what I've seen examples of. All I'm needing, I'll flip it over, is I do need this spring. If I hadn't mentioned it on another video, I ordered all these safety parts from Apex. Well, the spring, or the safety bolt spring, I think it's called, was here, and the screw. Those two pieces were definitely used and rusty, and I put the spring on, and I kept having trouble with it, and I noticed it was getting weak here, and it broke the end that screws on right here beside of it. And I've tried to call Apex, but they were already closed. And I've emailed them, and I've sent them my information and asked them if they would replace that. We'll see what kind of customer service they have. I've never had a problem with anything they've sold me, but that there, I just feel like shouldn't have it break. It was only like $2 and something for the screw, but still, you kind of want to have something work for you, not break before you get it to working right. Looks like I got some lettering right there. I may have to check that out and see what that says. I can't really make it out without looking at through some kind of magnification. So we'll have to. It almost looks like it says number 4 Mark 1 on it. Of course, these were built. Maybe that's built on a number 4 Mark 1 action. These guns were actually produced on their own. They're not cut downs, but I'm gonna have to take a better look at that. May just be imagining things, but it sure looks like it's marked right there. It looks like I see a MK1. Well, so I'm not certain on that. But anyway, I need to clean on my sight a lot more. It's not the cleanest. and it actually won't go up and down, so I need to free that up. I'm sure the sight's where it needs to be, but so that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to show you. Looks like I'm getting either touched my camera, got something on it, or there. Maybe it's focusing better. I'm leaving it on a cocked with safety in order to keep that piece in there. When this is not cocked and unsafe, it wants to fall out on me. So the tension inside the cocking piece against it is going to keep me from losing that. But I'll see what Apex says, or what they do about my problem with that. If they don't want to work with me, it was just $2 and something, but still, it's the principle of the matter. So there we go. I'm pleased with how it's turned out. Do you think I've brought it up to a grade B from a C? Tell me your thoughts on the Jungle Carbines. Have you gotten one yet? Are you going to? Now, I haven't scrubbed the bore or tried to clean it. I'll make one final clip there of that and let you know how that turned out. So, coming back to you, one final assessment on the bore. It has some distinct rifling and is actually a little shine to it. But there are there's lots of rifling left in it, and I can't take a cartridge and stick in the end for the bullet test as people like to do, but it's definitely got enough rifling that I think it'd be a shooter. So yeah, that's about it for it. I appreciate everybody watching and continuing to watch my other videos, and as I make them, I'll share them, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. So until the next video comes around, have fun at what you're doing, and I will also. Thanks.